A seminar can change your mind, yes, but how do you actually start changing your life?
We include action guides that show you how to do just that. The action guide for this video is linked in the description. You can find the other action guides, along with other free resources, at jimrohnfans.com. Thank you for your support.
I've always believed that if a person can understand the structure of motivation, life starts to open in remarkable ways. Not because motivation suddenly becomes easier, but because it becomes clearer. And clarity is often the missing ingredient. People talk about motivation as if it's some mysterious force that drops out of the sky and lands on the lucky. But it isn't magic. It's layered, predictable, even measurable if you pay close attention to your own behavior. Every action we take comes from one of three levels, and each level carries its own power, its own weakness, and its own capacity to shape a life. I learned early on that the difference between the people who barely get by and the people who build something remarkable is not talent or luck or good breaks. It's understanding what fuel they're burning. Some fuels burn hot and fast but fade quickly. Others burn slow and steady but never move you far enough. And then there's the rare fuel that can carry you a lifetime. I used to wonder why some days a person wakes up ready to conquer the world, and other days that same person can hardly get out of bed. The goals haven't changed, the circumstances haven't changed, but the level of motivation has. And when you don't know which level you're operating from, you get confused. You think you're lazy. You think you're inconsistent. You think you're undisciplined. But often, none of that is true. The real issue is that the wrong level of motivation is trying to carry a load it was never designed to carry. The first level pushes you. The second level tempts you. The third level pulls you. And that pull makes all the difference, because nothing is more powerful than being drawn forward by something that matters deeply. But before a person can reach that point, there's a progression they go through. You don't start at the top. You grow into it. You recognize the level you're on and decide whether it's enough to take you where you want to go. Motivation begins with reaction, then moves to attraction, and finally matures into intention. And if you stay long enough at each stage, something interesting happens. You start to see your own life as a set of cause and effect relationships. You realize you're not a victim of low energy or poor habits. You're simply under the influence of a weaker level of motivation. Once that truth registers, change becomes possible. Not overnight, not instantly, but deliberately. When people ask how to get motivated, I often smile a little, because the real question is why they need motivation at all. If you need someone to light the fire every morning, the fuel is wrong. If you need pressure or reward to move you, you're still depending on something outside yourself. But if you can reach the point where your own purpose gets you out of bed, where your own vision sets the pace, then you've discovered the structure behind motivation. Not as a mystery, but as a tool. And understanding that structure is the beginning of profound change. Because once you know what's driving you, you can decide what should drive you. You can choose the level. You can choose the fuel. And once a person can choose the fuel, everything else begins to shift. The first level of motivation is the oldest one we know. Survival, necessity. That moment when life backs you into a corner and says, move or pay the price. I've been there. Most people have. It's amazing how quickly a person can change habits when the wolf gets too close to the door. And isn't it interesting how bills, deadlines, and a little fear can suddenly create a burst of energy that wasn't there the day before? Now, survival motivation has a certain honesty to it. It strips away the excuses. When the rent is due, a person doesn't need a long lecture on personal development. When the refrigerator is empty, Nobody asks for a vision board. You simply act. You act because not acting is worse. And there's something powerful in that. It can get you started when nothing else will. I remember seasons in my early life when I had plenty of hopes, but not much discipline. Plenty of wishes, but not enough habits. And then a notice in the mail would arrive, or an obligation would come due. And suddenly, I discovered a work ethic I didn't even know I had. That's survival motivation. It wakes you up. It sharpens the senses. It puts you in motion. But here's the challenge. When a person depends on survival to get things done, they begin to live from crisis to crisis. They wait for the pressure. They wait for the fear. They wait for the trouble. And while they wait, life slowly slips by. Because survival is not a builder of dreams. It's only a defender of the minimum.
For those who want to study this lesson in a focused environment, there is a link to the deep dive version in the description. There you will find a deeper, distraction-free video and a written action guide built from the same ideas. You can also watch with your screen off if you prefer to listen.
Survival will get you out of bed, but it won't help you climb very far. It pushes, yes, but it pushes only as long as the danger is close. Once the pressure eases, the old patterns return. A person works hard for a week or two, then slows down, then turns back to the same routines that created the problem in the first place. And then here comes the next crisis, the next fire to put out, the next emergency to survive. Some people call that being unlucky. But often it's just the cycle of survival motivation doing exactly what it does. It drives you in short bursts, then disappears. It's a starter, not a sustainer. I used to watch people who lived this way, and I could see the frustration on their faces. They weren't lazy. They weren't incapable. They simply hadn't discovered a stronger fuel. They were letting fear set the schedule instead of vision. And fear will get you moving, but it won't take you far. It has no long-term promise in it. It keeps you alive, but it won't make you thrive. Survival motivation is like the first spark on a cold morning. It can ignite the fire, but you'd be in trouble if that tiny spark had to warm the whole house. It's not designed for that. And if you rely on it too long, you start confusing progress with panic. You start calling emergencies your motivation, and that's a dangerous way to live. So the first level is necessary, yes. It's honest, yes. It may even save your life a time or two, but you don't want to stay there. You don't want to build a life where fear becomes the foreman. Survival can start the engine, but if you want to go anywhere worthwhile, you'll need more than necessity pushing you from behind. Survival is a powerful wake-up call, but it was never meant to be a way of life. A person can run from danger for only so long before exhaustion sets in. And that's the first great limit of survival motivation. It takes more from you than it gives. It drains. It pushes. It keeps you on edge. And sooner or later, the pressure fades, and the old habits slip back in like they never left. I remember watching people who lived on nothing but pressure. They produced miracles when things were falling apart. But when things were calm, they drifted. Not because they lacked skill or desire, but because fear was the only thing setting the pace. And fear is a terrible master. It can shout, but it can't lead. It can push you to move, but it can't guide you toward anything meaningful. Once the danger is gone, so is the drive. And then you're left with a quiet house and a quiet mind, and the familiar disappointment of knowing you only do your best work when trouble shows up. That's no way to build a future. That's no way to build confidence either. Because every time you rise only under pressure, you prove to yourself that pressure is necessary. You start believing you need the emergency. You need the crisis. You need the fear. One of the saddest things is to watch someone confuse relief with progress. They solve a problem, just enough to stop the pain, and call that improvement. But progress isn't the absence of pressure. Progress is the presence of purpose. And until a person makes that shift, they keep bouncing between chaos and calm, never building enough momentum to change their life in any lasting way. Survival keeps you alive, but it doesn't make you fulfilled. It doesn't create pride. It doesn't create joy. It doesn't create freedom. It simply keeps you from sinking. And if all you ever do is avoid sinking, you never learn the pleasure of sailing. You never discover what your life could become when you start building instead of just reacting. I've told many audiences over the years that pressure is a poor substitute for vision. Vision gives direction. Pressure only gives urgency. Vision builds a future. Pressure just buys you time. Vision inspires discipline. Pressure demands it. And the moment the demand lifts, so does the discipline. So a person has to graduate. They have to rise above the fear-driven life. They have to say, I appreciate the lessons survival taught me, but I won't let it choose my destiny. Because staying in survival mode is like running on a treadmill. You can sweat, strain, push, and work like your life depends on it, and still not arrive anywhere new. And that's the great limit. Survival responds to the worst in life. It never brings out your best. To reach your best, you need a different source of energy, something that doesn't collapse when the pressure goes down, something that lasts, something that invites you forward instead of chasing you from behind. That's when the next level begins to make sense, when you realize survival got you started, but it can't take you where you want to go.
Motivation isn't the problem. Misplaced motivation is. Videos can fire you up, but without a plan, that energy fades. JimRohnFans.com provides action guides that show you exactly how to apply these philosophies in your own life. The longer you delay, the longer your life stays the same.
After a person has tasted the limits of survival, the mind begins to reach for something better, something a little more pleasant than fear and a little more sustainable than panic. And that's when the second level of motivation begins to show itself. The desire for reward, incentive, the promise that if you do the work, something good is waiting on the other side. Now, this is a different kind of energy. Survival pushes from behind, but incentive pulls from the front. You see the reward, and suddenly you straighten your shoulders. You take a deeper breath. You say to yourself, maybe I could have a little more than just getting by. And the moment that thought takes root, a new world opens up. I remember the first time I caught a glimpse of a better lifestyle. The idea that work could lead not just to paying bills, but to choices, to comfort, to possibility. And that picture began to draw me forward in a way survival never had. Fear made me run, but desire made me walk steadily, intentionally, with purpose. Incentive motivation introduces you to the idea that life can expand, that effort can be exchanged for something tangible, money, recognition, opportunity, even simple comforts. And it's remarkable how much a person can change when they finally believe something good is within reach. You work longer, you think bigger, you plan differently. You begin to imagine the future instead of hiding from it. But remember, incentives are external. They live outside your skin. They sit on the horizon, waiting for you to reach them. And that makes this level stronger than survival, but still fragile. Because as long as the prize is visible, you move. But take it out of view for a moment, and the enthusiasm fades. People who rely only on incentives often ride an emotional roller coaster. When the prize looks close, they're excited. When it feels far away, they grow discouraged. When they win, they're on top of the world. When they lose, they collapse. Their energy rises and falls with circumstance. And circumstance is a poor master of consistency. But still, incentives can do wonderful things. They can teach you how to aim, how to set goals, how to discipline your time and energy. They give you a reason to grow, a reason to stretch. The desire for something more lifts you higher than fear ever could. It shows you the first glimpse of what a better life might look like. And for many people, this becomes their turning point. They go from running away from pain to running toward possibility. That's a major shift. That shift alone can change a career, a marriage, a future. It can teach you to become intentional instead of reactive. Yet as powerful as this level is, it still has its ceiling. Because if you remove the reward, most of the effort disappears with it. And no life can be built securely on something so temporary. Incentives are wonderful servants, but they make poor masters. Still, they are the second step on the ladder. The step that teaches you how to want something, how to chase something, how to turn hope into habit. And it can transform your life so long as you understand its limits. Incentives can move a person, no doubt about that. A bonus, a raise, a trophy, a handshake, a little applause. These things can light a spark. But here's the trap. When the spark becomes the source of all your fire, you're in trouble. Because external rewards are like the weather. They change. They shift. They come and go. And if your motivation depends on them, your motivation will come and go right along with them. I've watched people work like champions when the prize was shining, then lose every ounce of drive the moment the reward was postponed or reduced. Not because they weren't capable, but because the prize had become their only fuel. They needed the applause to keep going. They needed the recognition to feel valuable. They needed the paycheck to justify the effort. And when the reward slowed down, so did their ambition. There's a certain emptiness in that. A person begins to realize that their emotional life is owned by circumstances. If the world offers a prize, they rise. If the world is silent, they sink. And that's a fragile foundation for a strong life, because the world is not obligated to cheer. Rewards don't always arrive on schedule. Recognition is often delayed. And sometimes the seeds you plant this season won't bloom until some distant future you can't yet imagine. External rewards are wonderful. They can inspire, affirm, encourage. They can help you stretch beyond your comfort zone. But they were never meant to be the whole engine. If you let them become your master, they begin to choose your behavior for you. You move only when the prize is visible. You slow down when the prize looks far away. And you stop altogether when the prize disappears. I remember meeting people who believed they lacked discipline, but the truth was simpler. Their motivation was entirely outside themselves. They were waiting for something out there to light the fire in here. And that's backward. Life works best when the fire starts inside and expresses itself outside. The danger of relying on rewards is that you underestimate your true capacity. You convince yourself you can only operate under perfect conditions. You forget that you possess creativity, strength, purpose, determination, qualities that never came from the outside in the first place. Qualities that remain even when the world offers no reward at all. Think of the farmer who plants in spring. There's no guarantee of perfect weather, no guarantee of a rich harvest, no guarantee of anything except the value of the work itself. But he still plants, he still waters, he still tends the soil. He doesn't wait for applause. He knows that effort must come before reward. And sometimes effort must come even when reward hides behind the horizon. That's the mindset that frees a person from the trap. When you reach the point where you no longer need a prize to perform, you become dangerous in the best possible way. You become consistent, steady, reliable. You begin to act not because someone is watching or paying or praising, but because you've decided the action itself is part of the person you intend to become.
For those who want to study this lesson in a focused environment, there is a link to the deep dive version in the description. There you will find a deeper, distraction-free video and a written action guide built from the same ideas. You can also watch with your screen off if you prefer to listen.
And that's when a new kind of motivation begins to emerge. One that doesn't fade when circumstances change. Because it doesn't come from circumstances at all. There comes a moment in a person's life when rewards lose a little of their shine. Not because they aren't pleasant. They are. Not because they don't matter. They do. But because something inside begins to hunger for more than comfort, more than applause, more than the next incentive. That's when the highest level of motivation starts to whisper. Purpose, meaning. The quiet voice that says, you were built for something beyond survival and beyond reward. Purpose motivation is different from anything that comes before it. Survival pushes from behind. Incentive pulls from the front. But purpose rises from within. It doesn't chase you, and it doesn't tempt you. It calls you. And when a calling takes hold of a person, the whole atmosphere of their life begins to change. I remember learning that the greatest work a person ever does isn't driven by fear or by prizes, but by meaning. By the conviction that their efforts matter, that their contribution matters, that their life is tied to something bigger than this month's bills or this year's achievements. Once that idea settles into the heart, discipline becomes easier. Consistency becomes natural. You no longer have to be pushed or paid. You're pulled by a vision of the person you could become and the difference you could make. Purpose is powerful because it doesn't depend on the weather. It doesn't rise and fall with circumstance. If the day is long, purpose stays steady. If rewards are delayed, purpose stays strong. If life gets complicated, and it will, purpose steadies the hand and keeps the mind clear. It reminds you why you started. It keeps you from turning back when the road grows steep. The remarkable thing about purpose is that it turns ordinary tasks into meaningful rituals. You're no longer just working, you're building. You're no longer just earning, you're contributing. You're no longer just trying to get through the day, you're shaping the future. And when work takes on meaning, fatigue no longer feels the same. Difficulty no longer feels the same. Even sacrifice begins to take on a sweetness of its own. I've seen people with modest talent accomplish extraordinary things because they discovered a purpose that mattered to them. And I've seen gifted people waste their potential because they never found a reason strong enough to unify their talents. Purpose is the great equalizer. It gives strength to the weary, direction to the wandering, and discipline to the distracted. But here's what makes purpose the highest level of motivation. It transforms the worker before it transforms the work. A person becomes wiser, stronger, steadier. Not because life becomes easier, but because the heart becomes anchored. And once the heart is anchored, storms can shake the mind, but never move the soul. Purpose doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It doesn't bribe. It simply invites. And the moment you accept the invitation, you step into a different world, a world where your effort is no longer dictated by fear or by reward, but by the meaning you've chosen to live by. That's the level where motivation becomes almost unnecessary. Because at that level, you're not acting from pressure or from prizes. You're acting from identity. Purpose can lift a person to great heights, but even purpose needs a partner. And that partner is discipline. Not the rigid kind that feels like punishment, but the steady kind that turns intention into habit and habit into results. Purpose without discipline is like a beautiful sail without wind. It looks inspiring, but it won't take you anywhere. I've met people through the years who carried a powerful sense of purpose. They spoke of dreams worth pursuing, causes worth serving, futures worth building. Their eyes lit up when they talked about it. Their voices carried conviction. But when you looked at their daily routine, the story didn't match the vision. The sun rose and set on good intentions, yet little changed, and they couldn't understand why the purpose that stirred their heart never reshaped their life. That's the missing link, routine, what you do when no one is watching. The quiet disciplines that seem too small to matter, yet determine everything. Purpose gives meaning to discipline, but discipline gives movement to purpose. Without that combination, a person lives in the realm of dreams, without ever touching the realm of change. When I started applying discipline to my own purpose, life began to shift in ways I hadn't imagined. Not overnight. Discipline rarely works with fireworks, but steadily, almost quietly. A new habit here, a better decision there, a small improvement repeated day after day. It's amazing how those little choices accumulate. It's amazing how they begin to rebuild your confidence. You start to trust yourself again. You start to believe that who you are becoming is stronger than who you've been. Purpose says this is where you're going. Discipline says, here's what you must do today. And today is where your future is built. A person can stand on a stage and declare their purpose with passion, but it's what they do in the early morning or the late evening that proves whether the purpose is real or just decoration for the imagination. I've always liked the idea that discipline is a form of respect. Respect for your purpose, respect for your potential, respect for the life you're trying to build. If purpose is the compass, discipline is the footsteps. One shows the direction, the other covers the distance. And the distance is what makes the difference. It's easy to be inspired for a moment. It's easy to feel motivated during a stirring conversation or a quiet walk or a sudden realization. But it's the ordinary days that matter most. The days when you don't feel inspired. The days when the work feels slow. That's when discipline steps in and says, keep going. Not because anyone is watching, not because someone is applauding, but because this is who you said you would be. That's where transformation begins, when your purpose shapes your routine, and your routine shapes your character. And once character is formed, action becomes almost automatic. You no longer have to negotiate with yourself every morning. You simply act in alignment with the person you're becoming. Purpose gives your life meaning. Discipline gives your life structure. And when the two finally meet, you begin to build something that can last through all seasons.
The most common problem people have is that they get pumped up from motivational videos, but have no clue where to put that energy. You can find action guides that will explain the steps you need to take to start moving in the right direction at jimrohnfans.com. These action plans are built on the principles and philosophies you find in these videos. If you keep waiting, then you'll just keep waiting. Start changing your life now.
Most people underestimate it. They look at a small effort and say it's too insignificant to change anything. But that's only because the result doesn't show up immediately. Purposeful action grows in silence. It grows beneath the surface. It grows in the unseen hours when no one is clapping. And then one day it shows itself. It shows itself in confidence, in skill, in opportunities, in a life that feels more stable than it did a year ago. I remember times when I tried to make big leaps overnight. I wanted transformation without the repetition. I wanted the final chapter without writing the earlier ones. But life doesn't work that way. It rewards the person who compounds effort, who plants today, waters tomorrow, and keeps tending the soil even when the field still looks empty. Momentum is the reward for consistency. And once momentum arrives, something wonderful happens. Motivation becomes less necessary. You don't have to negotiate with yourself every morning. You don't have to rely on excitement. You move because movement has become your identity. You act because action has become familiar. It's a beautiful shift when the work that once felt heavy starts to feel natural. And that's the power of compounding. The first few days feel slow. The first few weeks feel uncertain. The first few months feel like you're walking uphill. But if you stay with it, if purpose stays at the center, your life begins to pick up speed. The small steps multiply. The habits fortify each other. The progress grows roots. And before long, you look back and realize momentum is carrying you further than motivation ever did. Momentum is different from motivation. Motivation needs renewal. Momentum needs maintenance. Motivation depends on mood. Momentum depends on movement. Motivation asks for a reason to start. Momentum gives you a reason to continue. And if you can reach the point where momentum replaces motivation, you've tapped into one of the rare advantages that separates those who dream from those who achieve. The compound effect also changes the way you see yourself. When you keep your word to your purpose day after day, you build a kind of self-respect that no compliment can replace. You begin to trust your own consistency. You begin to believe that you can rely on your future self because your present self is proving it one small action at a time. And isn't that one of the great goals of life? To become someone you trust, someone whose habits align with their hopes, whose actions match their intentions, whose effort compounds until the results speak for themselves? That's what happens when purpose meets consistency and consistency meets time. You begin to experience the extraordinary power of ordinary days multiplied. There comes a point on this journey where you no longer think much about motivation at all. Not because you've lost it, but because you've outgrown the need for it. You're no longer waiting for a spark. You're no longer depending on pressure or prizes. Something deeper has taken over. Purpose has turned into identity, and identity has turned into natural action. That's a wonderful place to reach. When you act, not because you're motivated, but because this is simply who you are now. You keep your promises because you're the kind of person who keeps promises. You follow your disciplines because you're the kind of person who honors their commitments. You pursue growth because you've accepted growth as part of your nature. At that level, motivation becomes almost irrelevant. You've shifted from effort to alignment. People sometimes ask how to stay motivated for a lifetime, and I always tell them the truth. You don't. You aren't meant to. Motivation is a starter. It gets you moving. It begins the process. But the real goal is transformation. To build a life where the things you once had to force yourself to do have become the things you naturally do. Where the actions that once required courage now require only habit. And that transformation doesn't happen because of a single moment of inspiration. It happens because purpose guided you, discipline shaped you, and consistency proved you. Little by little, day by day, you forged a new identity. You earned it. You built it. And once identity forms, behavior follows with almost no strain at all. Living beyond motivation means you no longer need to be pushed. You no longer need to be tempted. You no longer bargain with yourself for effort. You wake up each day aware of the person you've committed to becoming, and you step into that identity with a kind of quiet confidence. You know who you are. You know what matters. And your actions reflect that knowledge. It doesn't mean life becomes effortless. Challenges still come. Seasons still change. But the difference is profound. You respond from strength instead of scrambling for inspiration. You bring your identity to the challenge instead of letting the challenge decide who you're going to be. There's a peace that comes with that, a stability, a sense of direction that doesn't waver with mood or circumstance. You live from the inside out. And that's the ultimate aim of motivation. Not to stay motivated forever, but to grow into someone who doesn't need motivation to live well. When purpose becomes identity, a person becomes unstoppable in the quietest way. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady. Steady in habit, steady in character, steady in the pursuit of a meaningful life. That steadiness becomes its own reward. And one day you look around and realize you're living the kind of life that once seemed far away. Not because you chased motivation, but because you built a self that no longer depended on it. That's the triumph. That's the transformation. When who you've decided to be takes over, and the life you've always wanted becomes the life you naturally live.